right, we're back. Verse 11. And this is how you shall eat it. Your loins girded, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste. It is the Pesach of Yahuwah. Don't allow something to stew with you. Am I holding on to any grudges that I've held all year? Here's Passover. This is the time that I need to get out of Egypt. I need to let it go. Why do I need to let it go? Because verse 12 says, Yahuwah says, I shall pass through the land of Egypt on that night, and I shall strike all the firstborn of the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and all the mighty ones of Egypt I shall execute judgment. I am Yahuwah. Am I making deities out of my grudges? Have I turned my disdain for something, or my loathing for someone, or something that's happened to me over the course of the year? If I turn that into, getting a little ahead of ourselves, a golden calf? Have I turned that into one of the deities of Egypt? One of the things that I worship, because it says here, I am Yahuwah. I'm going to go through and I'm going to look at what's going on. And if you haven't figured this out, then you're going to end. Not that you're going to die, but you have the possibility, the capacity of moving farther into a spiritual illness that leads into a spiritual death if you don't open your eyes and recognize that Yahuwah Elohim is in your midst. He is Yahuwah. He is Elohim, not whatever deities you've constructed over the course of the year. Okay? This is why verse 13 is so important, along with verse 7. And the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. I've made that choice in the het. I've looked at my life and I have recognized where I am hiding behind a wall, where I am hiding and straying off course, as opposed to my being yoked to my Elohim by and through his word. Okay? The sign, the blood on the doorposts and the lintels becomes the sign. It becomes the et, becomes the aleph and the tav. It becomes the warning that we must pay attention. The word of our Elohim gives us insight as to whether we are on the wrong side of that particular side of het. Okay? I shall strike all the firstborn of the land of Egypt. Okay, the blood shall be on the sign for you. I shall pass over you. Okay? Elohim is there. He's with us if we choose to make the right choice in that het. He sees that. Okay? But I want to go down to 14. And this day shall become to you a remembrance, and you shall celebrate it as a festival to Yahuwah throughout your generations. Celebrate it as a festival, an everlasting law. Okay? We cannot go with dispensationalists that say, well, everlasting means until the end of the period of time with the children of Israel. Yahuwah says, I am Yahuwah. I do not change. His word doesn't change. Okay? With Constantine, the feasts and the festivals of Yahuwah became the feasts and the festivals of the Jews. And to do anything that involved Judaism in the early church was an affront. So the church itself stopped celebrating the feasts and festivals of Yahuwah and put in place their own celebrations. We must understand that the feasts and festivals of our Elohim are what allow us to remember, to be reminded of his redemption, his deliverance, his restoration. that comes by and through His Word. They all point to Brit Hadashah, the restored covenant. They all point to the one who would make that possible. But we have to be willing to understand the feasts and the festivals. They begin with Passover. As soon as Passover is finished, and we'll talk about Passover again in our next study, we'll talk about the days and how long it lasts and how it refers to and how we see Yahusha in Passover. But Passover, when it ends, we go into a counting of the Omer. Okay, we count 49 plus 1 days, and then we have Shavuot, which you call Pentecost, and then we go from that into another festival and another festival and another festival. Each one of them reminds us to ask ourselves, where are you? Which is the first question that was asked of the Adam by Yahuwah Elohim in the Torah. So this is our first look at Passover, the beginning of the first look into ourselves. And hopefully, by the time we finish these lessons, we'll have enough insight as to what we need to really, really be thinking about as we move into this period of Elul, this period of the counting of the Omer, this period of deep self-reflection. But until then, thank you. I'm glad we had this time together. Say hi, Elohim. Saturday class, I miss you all very much, and I love you. And we will talk more tomorrow.